Hi, my name is Corey Schultz, student number 163845, and this is a reflective journal on the pre-production of task 5 for unit 6, which was a documentary. The pre-production I'll just go through step by step, just to give you an idea of how the pre-production actually helped us. So first of all, we have a mind map. A mind map is basically one idea that you can put down. So we had culture in London as our idea, and it was nice to put that on piece of paper. And where I found the mind map really helped was the fact that we knew that culture was a very broad topic, and having ideas branch out and develop really helped us come up with a single idea, which turned into diversity, good or bad. So yeah, that really helped us with that. Mood board of images, same thing with any form of pre-production. This basically just helps you put down images that you have ideas, not necessarily everything that's going to go into the production, but it just helps you put ideas that are here onto a piece of paper, so it relieves you of pressure and stress, and also helps you remember of ideas that you wouldn't necessarily remember. The primary research, same thing as usual, we would go with Google Forms and just come up with a set of questions what people like in documentaries, finding out our demographic and our audience, and etc. Secondary research for documentaries, I feel, was a very fundamental part of the production, due to the fact that documentaries are documentaries, you need to know your information, and if you don't know your information, then there's no documentary. So a lot of hard work was put into the secondary research in order to find out the correct information, because this brings us back to the different types of, well, the task 1 of like accuracy, bias, and opinions and codes and conventions within producing a documentary. Secondary research was obviously a very fundamental part of pre-production. Now, our planning for pre-production included interview questions, something that we thought that we would go out and ask our audience, or just people of the public, on their views, and just come up with a set of questions that would help us develop our documentary. Allocating appropriate roles and responsibilities within your production. Again, this is something that helps us get used to the fact of working within a small production company, and just being able to allocate different roles and responsibilities that each person is accountable for, and to chase them up for that. And producing a production schedule. This was also very good because a lot of us were in the group, about 5 of us, and in order for us to be able to shoot and record and edit and actually develop the whole project was difficult. So producing the actual schedule that would come up with dates and times of when we were actually going to accomplish these made it a lot easier. Completing a budget form, this was helping us understand that breaking everything down on paper basically, and helping us realize that things do cost money. Like we had gone to Camden Town, and we obviously had to buy the food, and that was a cost that we had to put into our budget. Just small things like that you don't think about. Risk assessments. Again, risk assessments is within this specific production. We were going around to different places within London, and there's a lot of risks in terms of crime and theft and etc. So it was nice to come up with some risk assessments in order to help us pre-plan what we were gonna do and make sure that we did it effectively. List of interviews and contacts. This was beneficial due to the fact that if we did have a certain clip that was not to the standard in which we had hoped, we could call them back and say, hey, let's go and shoot that again because I need to ask you a couple more questions, maybe in a different format, because it's not quite working for the documentary. So that was very beneficial in that aspect. Equipment and resource list. The equipment resource list just tells us basically what equipment we are going to be using. We didn't go too dramatic with the equipment because it was a school project, obviously, but we did use the basic cameras like Canon 60D, you know, some softboxes, a studio. We also and then we wanted to make it like this personal documentary where it was on hand, so we decided to use our phones for actual vlogging, and this just helps come up with a, because if you know the equipment that you're using, then it kind of gives you an idea of how the documentary is actually going to come out. So that was a good one. Anyway, that is all I have for this reflective journal. Thank you so much for watching.